Parker Porter versus Chase Sherman, man. This is a good matchup, believe it or not. And don't let folks, if you've seen Parker Porter, if you've seen any of his full body shots, do not let the physique fool you. This man is deceptively athletic, man. This is a banger of a fight. These two they actually were matched up for Chase Sherman's last fight. Porter, I think he got COVID or something, got sick, and Andrei Arlovsky ended up being the replacement for Chase Sherman. Now, this is something we need to talk about really quickly. Did you know Chase Sherman, he said it in his pre-fight presser, that he actually messed up his knee. He tore up some stuff in his knee right 5 minutes before the Arlovsky fight. So he says that he went from the mentality of, I'm going to steamroll Arlovsky, I'm going to get him out of here, to don't get embarrassed. And those are the things, AJ, that as bettors, as wagering fans, as MMA fans, as people who are making picks, we don't get access to that information. So, I was so confident. I was like, Chase Sherman is going to get Arlovsky out of there. Arlovsky, the ageless wonder, he got the job done. Nonetheless, Parker Porter, he's a plus 150 underdog against the minus 185 favorite in Chase the Vanilla Gorilla Sherman. Love the nickname. I think he is the OG Vanilla Gorilla, not Jason Witt. Either way, man, I think the odds makers have it right on this one. I think Chase Sherman is rightfully the favorite in this matchup because Parker Porter, though I do believe in the power, though I do believe in his output, man, throws a lot. I think Chase Sherman is just a little bit sharper. Muay Thai background. He's a former bare knuckle fighting champion, fighting championship champion. You know what I mean? And this dude, bro, he's with it, and he fights angry, and I like that. Sometimes it doesn't work, right, AJ? Tell me off the bat, what is one disadvantage to fighting angry in your opinion?
Man, you're not thinking clearly. You're not reacting clearly. All you see is red, and you're just literally gunning for it. And a lot of coaches will tell you right off the bat, you cannot fight angry. That's when you lose. You let your emotions get going. That's when you get knocked out.
And that's Jose Aldo versus Conor McGregor. That is Cody Garbrandt versus everybody damn near. You know what I'm saying? Where you just see red Cody. But no, all respect to all of these fighters. Let's talk about it, man. The Vanilla Gorilla, he's 15-7 in his MMA career, 3-6 in the UFC career, man. This is his second stint in the UFC, and he's currently 1-1 in this second stint. Now, Parker Porter, 10-6 MMA, 1-1 in the UFC. So both of these dudes, let's relegate it, and let's just say the second stint for Chase Sherman, this first stint for Parker Porter, both 1-1. Let's see where they propel up from here. BJJ brown belt is Parker Porter. Kickboxing purple belt is Chase Sherman. Did you know that belts exist in kickboxing, AJ?
I did, actually. Yeah. Back in the day, man. I didn't know it was still a thing, though. I didn't know in Muay Thai, I thought it wasn't, but in normal, American kickboxing, it is.
So yeah, and I didn't really think, because I know karate, you got your belts, jiu-jitsu, you got your belts and all that. I guess we got belts and everything now, but kickboxing, old school, cool. And Chase Sherman is a purple belt in kickboxing under Duke Rufus, man. So that is very impressive, man. Duke Rufus is a legend right there. He's a BJJ blue belt, like I said, bare knuckle fighting champion, heavyweight champ, and yeah, man, regional heavyweight champion was Parker Porter. So those are the accolades for both of these fighters. But how this fight plays out, I say that we got the more powerful, the bigger Parker Porter, who could throw a big roundhouse kick out of nowhere, is fighting a Muay Thai practitioner in Chase Sherman, who's got mean combos, man. He's a slickster. I love Chase Sherman because he's a slickster. Moves the head, back out, get out. You know what I'm saying? Parker Porter, he'll stand in front of you. He'll try to take your head off. If this is another, AJ, you mentioned it earlier, this is probably up there because of the weight as opposed to how this fight is going to play out. But if this fight is just a true stand and bang heavyweight contest, we know anybody over 200 pounds can knock you out with one shot. If it turns into a brawl, who has the edge in this fight?
I think it has to go to the Vanilla Gorilla, man. He's a tactician out there. Like you said, he's a slickster, man. Great head movement, literally moves around. He'll piece you up with these dirty combos. And what I don't like about Parker Porter, I'm actually glad you said it, Derek. Don't let the physique fool you. Homeboy is very fast. He's very aggressive, and he stays composed. He really likes to use his weight, but what I don't like about him is he keeps his head very still, keeps his head online, does not move it, even though he's throwing for the fences, man. So I definitely think if this one stays standing, we're going to see a lot of good things come out of Chase Sherman. We're going to see a highlight reel coming forward, man. What do you think?
Well, I'd have to say that on the feet, in a straight stand and bang war, it's not as simple as Chase Sherman having the edge, in my opinion, because I think if Parker Porter hits you with one, Chase Sherman, he's been rocked in his fights before. I think he got rocked versus Arlovsky in his last fight, man. So it's like, if you could rock the man, it'll be interesting. I'm pretty sure that Parker Porter is a bigger man. Obviously, look at him. He's a bigger man than Chase Sherman. So that definitely plays into a factor when we're talking about weight here. With Sherman, man, what I like about him is the punches and bunches. But when you do punches and bunches, you leave yourself exposed. When you start opening up 2, 3, 4, You know, you never really see more than 2 or 3 from Parker Porter, right? It's very ba 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 ba, and he'll start feeling himself. And that's, like I said, it's a fan favorite. That's why we love him over here on this program. 2 Americans going head to head, 2 heavyweights. What more can you ask for in an MMA contest? But I will say that there is an X factor to this fight that we need to consider. Parker Porter, he says, this is just business, bro. You know, Chase Sherman, yeah, I'm trying to get that life-changing bonus. This is just business. Chase Sherman says, I don't like that this dude's talking shit. I don't like that he's saying that he's going to make his name off of my name. Like, fuck that. You know, I'm going to go knock his lights out. He says some shit about his titties and all that. You know, like, this dude's getting personal. It's getting real out here. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, do you think that this is going to lend to Chase Sherman fighting a little less technically, and this goes into like that brawl? Because anything is up for grabs when it goes to the brawl, man. We keep revolving around this because in a heavyweight contest, honestly, AJ, you don't expect it to go to a decision. You don't expect to see a tactician versus another tactician. Nobody wants to see that. We don't pay for that in heavyweights. We want to see blood. We want to see knockouts. Do you think that's going to be the outcome of this fight, AJ?
I kind of hoping so, man. I kind of really, if I see any advantage for Parker Porter, it's in the chaos, man. Homeboy, he looks unassuming, but he can absolutely bang going forward, man. I think if this one, like you said, we're not looking for a tactician fight here. Although if Chase Sherman wants to run away with this one, I do think he'll avoid fighting angry. But sometimes that's your style, man. If that's the only way you can fight and that's the only way you know how to step in the ring ready and feeling confident, sometimes you got to fight mean, man. Sometimes you got to fight angry. But if this one goes down to a brawl, I think that's what we're exactly looking for. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I think that lends itself more towards Parker Porter's style. He can get a little aggressive and can shoot for the takedown and really, like we said before, put his hand through your face. But this homeboy can brawl too, man. He's very, very slick. He's very fast, even though, like you said, he's a little bit bigger. Parker Porter might have been Chase Sherman might have been making fun of the titties, but those titties can slap, man. And it's going to be a fun fight if they do keep it standing.
Absolutely, man. So I just will have to say, just to kind of close this whole thing off, man, this is actually a really good matchup. I know we was given a little bit of flack earlier, but this is a really good matchup. Outside of the looks, you actually go down to how they go and throw down, man. There's got a little bit of heat behind it. I like it, man. Give me your pick and why, AJ.
Man, I think this one is a dangerous game for both of these fighters, man. If the Vanilla Gorilla is able to walk Parker Porter down and not really feel threatened, I think it's going to be a fun fight for him. While as if Parker Porter can land one of those big shots and hurt him, I think he's going to shoot for the takedown, get some dirty fights going on the ground. It's going to be a fun one either way. I think it's a lot closer than the odd makers are putting it. But me personally, I'm going Chase Sherman by decision. I think it's going to get gritty in the first 1 and 2, man. I think it's going to be crazy. I think it's going to get a little, like I said, gritty in the first and second round, where then Chase Sherman's going to be able to calm down a little bit, let the mind start working, and put that Duke Rufus style to work, man. Get the decision win. Who you got and why, Derek?
All right. So listen, man, you got my guy AJ over here. He wants some heavyweight decisions. That's not what we signed up for, man. I think that if Chase Sherman fights the way that he did against Ike Villanueva, Hurricane Ike, and Parker Porter kind of fights the way that he did against Chris Dawkins, right? We love the Dawkins brothers over here, man. I think that Chase Sherman gets him out of there early. I think a second round TKO is incoming personally, because I think Chase Sherman, once he starts going, man, once he starts getting in the groove, it's going to be a long night. But I will say, man, Parker Porter is absolutely a tough test. He's no easy outing, and he's well rested for this matchup. He's had a long training camp for this fight specifically for Chase Sherman. Luckily, they got it rebooked, man. It will be a good one. And yeah, man, I guess we can move on.